All right, we're gonna go over one warm-up problem real quick. Just to remind people how to do them. Then we'll get started on our lesson. Make sure you got headphones out. Don't get on your phone or I'll snatch it right up. Snatch it. What? You snatch it right up. You what? Snatch it.
Wait, how's this?
Alright, so for your warm-up, you had to FOIL together some parentheses. Kinsey, help me out. What does FOIL stand for?
First, outside, inside, left.
Yep. First, outside.
It's like Chinese.
That's an E.
Well, did you see the new Fortnite update?
Yeah, no man. I'm gonna get Fortnite.
Season 3?
My dad took me to watch.
Pretty
I'll buy
lit.
it.
Alright, Moses, we're gonna FOIL these together. What do I get when I do my first?
You get x to the second power.
X squared.
What?
Jace, what do I get when I do outside?
You'll get negative 3x.
Yep. Lily, what do I get when I do inside?
4.
Oh, 5x, sorry.
Looking at the wrong problem there. Luis, what do I get when I do last?
27 this time.
What?
What?
Oh man. I may even go as so far as to say.
Dude, I didn't even do this.
Yeah,
Okay, I
okay.
got you.
I'm not gonna
If I'm gonna multiply last together, what am I
That's
multiplying,
what I
Luis?
said, 27.
Yeah. Well, I'm multiplying together when I do last.
18.
Which one? I got outside. Oh, I'm doing last.
Yeah, we're doing last.
Who's 18?
Shut up.
8. Stop.
I know you said.
15.
Hey Jeff, I gotta tell you not to talk again. You don't get my phone.
It's just
He almost
15.
listened to
I
me.
almost said that. It's 15. Oh,
Alright.
shit. Yeah, 15.
Negative 15. Don't get that negative. I gotta literally.
I said that.
I didn't hear you. Alright, and then we gotta keep going. Beto, what do I need to do
I
next?
thought my citrus said
Yep, we gotta combine these two in the middle. They're both x's. We get a 2x. And then our last thing is we just have to write them down together. X squared plus 2x minus 15 for our final answer. Alright, so most of you guys did pretty good on FOIL. We are going to be doing the opposite of FOIL today.
What the?
We're going to be doing the opposite of FOIL today. So we're going to be factoring. And I call this in-middle factoring. That's not its actual name, but that's what we use when we factor, so that's what I call it. So I need people to hush. Luis, hush. Moses, turn around, face the wall, please.
I always sit like this.
And I keep telling you to move.
I can't sit comfortable like that.
Turn around, man. You're not tempted to talk
Dude,
to
I
anybody.
always sit like this.
Not always. I made you move before and you did. Do it again.
Okay, man, suggest solution to this problem.
How about you don't talk to this? Alright, we're going to end middle factoring, which is the opposite of FOILing. So when I FOILed on my warm-up here, when I FOILed, I went from 2 parentheses to a quadratic, to a polynomial to my biggest exponent of 2. So when I do the opposite, when I do this factoring, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to end up with 2 parentheses. So, in order to factor this with our in-middle factoring, Ashlyn, Adelia, to do this opposite, I need to answer 2 questions. I want to know what times what equals the last number, the number on the end, and I need those same 2 numbers, I need them to add up to my middle number. So I want to know what
3 and
times
2.
what is 6 and adds up to my middle number, which is 5. And this is why it's called in middle. 6 is my end, 5 is my middle. Like that. That's why I call it in middle. This isn't like a technical name. I gotta have a way to refer to it like this because we are. We'll do some other kinds of factoring. Luis, why don't you move over 1 seat so you don't mess with that. Luis, move over 1 seat. You don't mess with that. We'll have that be your real spot.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm tired of it. You guys keep staying around. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I forgot to finish off my seating chart yesterday.
Democracy.
Alright.
We're getting a new seating chart?
Well, alright, so Magi, give me 2 numbers I can multiply to get 6. Any 2 numbers to multiply to get 6. 3 and 2. Alright. Yep, you gave me a bunch, so I'm going to start with 3 and 2. So, 3 times 2 is 6, right? Is 3 plus 2 5.
Yes.
It is. 3 plus 2 is 5. So, when I answer both these questions, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 plus 2 is 5, I know I've got my right parts here. So, I'm doing the opposite of FOIL, which means I'm going to end up with 2 parentheses. So I'm going to put my 2 parentheses here. 2 sets of parentheses, I guess I should say. 2 sets of parentheses.
2.
And I've got my 2 parentheses. My first piece is always going to be whatever my variable is, which right now is x. So I'm going to put x in this first piece.
Why do we learn the new lesson?
And then next to this x, I'm going to put I got my number 3 and my number 2. It doesn't matter the order you put them in. So I started with 3 and 2 here. I'm going to start with 3 and 2. And this was a positive 3 and positive 2, right? So I'm going to go x plus 3 and then x plus 2. So we split this quadratic apart.
Let me interrupt your class real quick there, Mr. Gold, but I got a delivery for that guy real quick. Thank you.
Hey, Aaron.
Suicide.
That's a suicide.
Alright. That wasn't something embarrassing. It would have been way funnier.
Oh my god, that was
Alright.
Dylan.
So we just did the opposite of foiling. If I were to foil these two together, real quick, just to show you. If I were to FOIL, I go x times x and get x squared, right? Outside, x times 2 is 2x. 3 times x is 3x. And then last is 6. If I put these together, like I'm going to FOIL them together, I would get x squared plus 5x plus 6. And I would get back where I started. So, if you're ever not sure if you got the right answer, you can FOIL these together and see if you ended right back where you started. So, my final answer is just this right here.
What is it?
What is it?
So this is all we're going to practice today. We're just going to practice factoring. So I'm going to look at this next one. I have x squared plus 8x plus 15. I want to know what times what is 15 and adds up to 8.
18
Great,
times
give me 2
2.
numbers. I can multiply to get 15. 3 to 5. Is 3 plus 5 8?
Yes.
So I know I did it right. I know I got the right thing. These are starting off easy. They're going to be a little tougher here in a few minutes.
In a few minutes.
The process won't be different, it'll just be harder to find your numbers. So, I know 3 times 5 is 15, 3 plus 5 is 8, so I can factor this now into my 2 parentheses. I'm going to have x plus 3 and x plus 5. The order you do these doesn't matter. If you did x plus 5 first and then x plus 3, that's fine. Doesn't matter.
Does X
You
always
stop
have to
the
go
boiler?
first though?
Yes. Or whatever variable. No, you don't have to put. So, this one was x, yes, it will go first. If you had like a t squared plus 8t, t would be the first part. So just whatever variable you have. Happen to be x so far, you'll get some different ones later.
No.
I was saying what?
Okay, let's look at this one. This one's a little different. I want to know what times what is my number on the end, which is 24, and adds up to my number in the middle. And my number in the middle is not just 11.
It's negative 11.
Negative 11. So Ivory, give me 2 things we can multiply to get 24.
I don't know.
Just 2 of them, real quick. Real quick.
6 times 4.
6 times 4. Alright. Is 6 plus 4 11?
No.
No. So we need to pick new ones. These don't work. There's kind of a lot of guess and check. And let's take a look at this. When I multiply, I get a positive number, right? But when I add, I got negative. What do I know about both these numbers?
8 times 3.
Well, what you can do is make a negative.
It's negative 8 times negative 3.
So I multiplied and got a positive. I add to get a negative. Whenever you do that, you need to know that both numbers are negative. And negative 8, negative 3. Negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. Negative, negative, positive. Negative 8 plus negative 3 is negative 11. So I can factor this and split it apart. I got my 2 parentheses. And when we do this, I'm going to start with my x. And because there was a negative 8, I'm going to go minus 8.
Oh, it's
Then I'm
not.
going to go x. And because it was a negative 3, I'm going minus 3.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I should have on the wrong side.
Oh my god, no. I won't be able to see back there.
Good thing I printed out notes right on there.
Oh,
Alright, real big.
No.
I already told you to stop talking noise. I'm not having it. Let's go.
That's a try.
Let's go.
This one over here.
I mean, to be honest, so well, no.
Oh my
I already gave you one chance earlier. I told you to stop talking.
Please, these are all
Alright, you guys are all getting close to not getting any music for anybody today, so.
No.
Alright, we're gonna keep going. Adelia, what do my numbers have to multiply to be in this problem? What do they have to multiply to be? Negative 15, right? Which means they have to add to be positive 2. Alright, Ruben, what times what is negative 15?
5 times 3.
Okay. Is 5 plus 3 2? No. They multiply to be negative though, right? Which means, what do I need with one of these numbers? What do I need, AJ? We need a negative, right? If I multiply and get a negative, one of these is going to be negative.
Negative 3, negative 3.
So let's try negative 3. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. What's 5 plus negative 3? Is that positive 2?
Yes.
Is that positive 2, Ivory?
5 plus negative 5.
Yeah. It is. 5 plus negative 3 is positive 2, so I got what I need. So I got my, I'm going to make my 2 parentheses.
Most of them had to add up to.
They do. Positive 2.
Is this all we have to do, bro?
Uh-huh.
Pretty simple.
For today.
What?
So I'm going to go x, and then I'm going to go plus 5 because it's positive. I'm going to go x minus 3 because that's a negative 3. And remember, the order you do this doesn't matter. You could do x minus 3 first, and then x plus 5. It does not matter.
3 is always first. Just kidding. Mr. Donkey, Mr. Culture.
Yes, Jace.
What? Oh.
What, Jace?
Never mind. I'm stupid.
Okay, man. I don't believe that, but alright. Alright, let's try... you know what? Let's have you guys try one.
I know. Even I got it.
I want you to do this one in the box right there. First one. R squared minus 13r plus 42. Factor that.
Factor that one. Exactly that one.
Luis, be quiet.
Be quiet.
Positive 5, right?
Wait a second, but
You can do minus 3 first and then plus 5. It doesn't matter.
So for this one, I have to find which one.
Does it matter how
You want to know what times what is
No,
the number on the end.
doesn't matter.
And don't forget that number in the middle is negative.
wait, is the number on the outside the one you have to times?
The end is what you times. So what times what is your number on the end, and adds up to the number in the middle. That's why I call it end middle.
Oh, this is
What times
actually
what is the
real
end?
easy.
What plus what is the middle? It's not, the concept itself isn't super tough, but sometimes it can be kind of annoying trying to get the right numbers.
It's so easy, Coke. Yeah, finished.
Oh, good. Sit tight. Maybe try another one. Oh, and I actually saw it right here.
Would you like me
If
to?
you are getting ahead, this should be an S and not an X. We can't mix up variables.
Wowzers.
You have to change that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to be the same number.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to solve that.
$10. Because I would.
Bet.
Can I just please? Can I eat this citrus? No, that's actually the reason we don't allow food. People eat like 3 oranges and leave all the peels inside that.
Who said I will?
Do one of these is
Oh, are you just segregating
No,
it
it's all
because
this paddle. Full food.
Alright, so let's look at this first one here in just a minute.
I didn't understand.
Okay. Do they add up to negative 13? They add to be negative, but multiply to be positive. What do you know about both numbers? Where they have to be?
Well, this is positive, this is negative, so one of them has to be negative on this
If one is a negative, that would be negative 14.
one. Oh, wait.
They both have to be
Oh, I get it now.
I don't get it, Mr. Alden.
negative 7 times negative 6 is positive.
Did I get this right, Mr. Cookie?
Well, let's find out. Alright, I think we are at Gabe. Give me 2 numbers I can multiply to get 42. Okay? So 7 times 6 is 42. Is 7 plus 6 negative 13?
Negative.
Yes. They have to both be negative because I multiplied and got a positive. I'm adding and I'm getting a negative, which means they both have to be negative. So, negative 7 times negative 6 is 42. Negative 7 plus negative 6 is negative 13. So I've got everything I need. My answer is going to be, and not x because my variable is r this time. I'm going to go r minus 7, r minus 6.
So the exponents are going to count.
Nope, because we're splitting it up. We are splitting it up. It's the opposite of FOIL. So instead of having two little things multiplied together, we are finding those two.
again.
Alright, I want you to try this next one on the top right. The s squared, change that. Instead of a minus 8x, that was a typo, that should be minus 8s. And then plus 15. Try that next one in the box. What times what is 15? Adds up to negative 8.
Mr. Goki.
There's no X right there.
Nope, it's an s. So that should be an s, I typo.
Mr. Goki.
Are you sure
No,
Goki?
lousy
Yeah,
S.
this one or no? Do the same thing as before.
Oh, I did it. I did it. I did it.
Well, I'll actually, oh yeah, I'll talk about that just
Easy peasy.
So I'm doing
Yep.
Stop, please.
Yeah, this one, Luis? Still working?
Promise.
I am.
I will hunt you down and get you like a fish. Please. Shut up. Mr. Goki, come on.
I'll give you another 30 seconds or so. Try to get this one
Sea
going. What?
snake.
I said something.
You real sea snake, you.
You done, Mo?
Daddy's yeah.
You done, James?
Mr. Goki,
No. No.
You real
What?
sea snake,
No
you.
answer there. What color are your parentheses? Oh, you're not done yet.
But Mr. Goki,
You
no.
gotta finish that off.
I have bad head.
Alright, what times what is?
Goki.
Everybody around. What times what is 15? Adds up to 8, negative 8.
Go ahead, take a drink.
Oh, wait.
What times what is number 15? Adds up to the number in the middle.
Did it. Okay, I did
That's
it.
why I call it in the middle.
So it'd be 5 and 3, right?
5 times 3 is 15.
Yeah.
Is 5 plus 3 negative 8?
Did it.
What was that?
Oh, it's positive.
I'd like to hear you
So,
say
they
that
multiply
again.
to be positive, but add to be negative.
Yeah,
What do you
good to
call
hear
that?
you.
So,
That's
try
my
negative
thought.
5.
For that one out?
Did you turn your microphone on?
Oh!
Yeah, go.
Fine, am I gonna have to go back and listen?
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Both gotta be negative.
After that, just hear
I agree.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I said yes for it.
Maybe I should show it to Mr. Heinrich.
What?
recorded here.
No.
18
Should've just kept that to yourself.
18-minute mark.
You real
What?
sea snake, you.
That's fine, anyway.
What?
Alright, what times what is 15?
Ooh, what if?
Negative 5 times negative 3.
Yep. And negative 5 plus negative 3 is negative 8. So, remember, once you find these numbers, you haven't actually answered until you make your parentheses. So I'm gonna have s minus 5, s minus 8. Alright, let's do one last problem. Do this last one with p squared. And we're gonna skip this one.
Okay.
I want you to do one last one with p squared plus 3p minus 40. Last in-class problem.
What the heck times
That's some nice phrasing there, Jace.
Hey, Goki, Goki.
What the heck times what the heck?
Goki, do that thing with your head.
No. Okay, we're doing the next one.
Okay.
Which one do we do now?
Okay, I don't know if you're gonna say it. Okay, so, but like.
Oh, we got.
It was funny. Oh my god. Shiboki.
Is this one like tricky?
A little. Maybe a little. A little sneaky.
Alright. That's fine.
Oh dang. Oh, dang. Did it, okay, did it.
Koki, did I do it right?
What'd you get?
You're probably wrong, because when I don't know.
What times what?
Oh, I did that thing.
Yeah, same thing. What times what?
This one is kind of true.
And adds up to.
Okay, so I keep on doing this
Okay,
on the
so,
bottom.
so it's 8 times 5, negative 40?
So it's just 40.
Just regular 40.
Yeah.
So one of these should be negative.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which one?
8, right?
Okay, let's try it.
What the?
Is negative 8 plus 5 positive 3?
I don't know what it is.
This is really easy, Loki. It took me some time to crack it though.
It's so it's the other
Again, your turn.
Ruben, can you not talk?
What? Ruben's dead.
I thought you couldn't talk.
He's been dead.
What happened to you?
Is that
Yes,
right?
That's positive.
So it should be positive 3, so flip it around. Try 8 plus negative 5. See if that's negative 3.
But
No, not yet. Later. Next chapter.
Ow, I stabbed myself.
Yeah. Alright, let's go through this. I want to know what times what equals negative 40.
8 times
And
negative 5.
adds up to 3. And we got 8 negative 5. Yep.
Just say it.
Alright, and remember, you haven't actually answered until you make your parentheses. So I'm going to go P plus 8,
ooh, I just have to do it.
P minus 5 for my 2 answers. Alright, that is it. So, I'm going to have you guys start on your exit ticket. But real quick, on your exit ticket, if I'm going to look at this first problem, what number is in the middle? 1. So when I do this one, I want to know what times what equals negative 30 and adds up to positive 1.
Negative 30 times 1. I mean, no.
That's like.
Did you say negative 3 times 1?
No. Negative 30 times 1.
Is negative 30 plus 1 1? No.
Hey, stupid.
No.
Think that
It's
over.
not stupid. Stop it.
I don't know the.
I might have to start giving referrals out for people who keep insulting other people because I'm getting tired of it.
What, Loki?
You've been warned.
Stupid.
That was Moses.